The problems for my videos can be downloaded from my website, tonybell.com. Go to the website, click the PDF link. You'll see there's no sign in, no sign up, nothing like that. Just 100+ pages of accounting exercises. Many of the exercises are free and open, about 40%. And if you're working through those and finding you're getting great value out of them, you might consider joining and getting a channel membership that has access to the other 60% of the videos. All right, let's jump into today's exercise. Let's take a run through problem 7.1a, a variable versus absorption costing problem. May Company began operations at the start of the year. Details about the company's activities are below, and let's just read the required. We're going to calculate the cost per unit under variable and absorption costing, and I just want to mention at the top like how to determine the cost under variable versus absorption. So absorption costing is what we've learned all along because that's what GAAP requires for companies to do. And under absorption costing, the cost is the material, the labor, and the overhead, but it's all of the overhead. It's the variable overhead as well as the fixed overhead, and that's the cost of our product. Under variable costing, we include material because it's a variable cost. We include direct labor, which is variable. We include variable overhead, of course, but we exclude fixed overhead. So that's the variable cost of a product. So fairly straightforward. Let's solve part A here then, and we'll focus in on these manufacturing costs. So the manufacturing costs say give us the material, the labor, and the overhead. So let's use them. Material is 4, labor is 2, overhead is 3, variable overhead is 3. So 4 plus 2 plus 3, that's 9. So there we go. Cost per unit under variable costing, 9. What about under absorption costing? The material is 4, the labor is 2, the variable overhead is 3, and the fixed overhead is 400,000. Well, that doesn't compute here, right? Like it doesn't match up. We've got to figure out the cost per unit that would have been applied. And this would have been applied throughout the year, but we want to figure out overall cost per unit that would have been applied through the year. So the total cost is 400,000. The number of units produced is 100,000. I hope you see where I'm going here. It's got to be $4 a unit, right? We made 100,000 units. It cost us $400,000 in fixed overhead. So it's $4 a unit. So the total cost here, 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 3 is 9, plus 4 is 13. So there you go. We've answered part A. Part B says, what's the ending inventory value under variable versus absorption costing? Well, it talks about inventory up here, and it says, beginning inventory was 0, $100,000 produced, 95,000 units sold, sales price was $20 a unit, ending inventory is question mark. We can quickly figure out that question mark because we started with 0 inventory. We made 100,000. We sold 95. What do I have left? Hopefully you're all shouting at your screens. 5,000 units is what's left over. So what's the value of my ending inventory? Well, inventory value under variable costing, and we've just said variable is $9, and under absorption 13. So we think our cost of goods is $9 under variable. So we have 5,000 units left over. 9 times 5,000 is $45,000. And under absorption, 13 times 5,000 would be $65,000. Let me make sure on that number. 13 times 5. Yeah, it's 65. I got insecure there. I hate to calculate a number wrong, but there you go. So under variable costing, my ending inventory is worth $45,000, and under absorption, $65,000. That's going to be relevant in a minute. The final thing, assuming no taxes, prepare an income statement under variable and one under absorption costing. So big picture, what do we expect our income statements to look like? Well, a variable income statement looks like this. Sales minus variable expenses equals contribution margin minus fixed expenses equals operating income or income before tax. But here there's no taxes, so we're just going to say that equals net income. An absorption income statement looks like this. Sales minus COGS equals gross profit minus our selling and admin expenses, or our operating expenses, but we'll call them selling and admin for our management accounting class, S&A expenses, equals net income. That's the ugliest S&A of my life. I'm going to do that again. S&A. Oh, so much better. Okay, so there we go. So we just got to make income statements in those formats. So let's do absorption first. Absorption's a little bit easier. They're both easy though. So here's our company's absorption income statement. I'm just going to try to match that format. So sales rev. Let's see. Zero beginning. There's our unit sold, 95,000 at $20 a unit. $1.9 million in sales revenue. Our cost of goods, COGS, it's the number of units sold, 95,000, times our absorption cost, 13. So 95,000 times 13, 1235. Sales minus COGS is gross profit. 1.9 million minus 1235. 665 minus selling and admin expenses, and our selling and admin is down here, $5 a unit. We sold 95,000 units. So variable, of course, is going to be things like commissions on units sold. So 5 times 95,000, 475,000. Plus there's 120K in fixed, so our total selling and admin here is 595. All right, so 595 brings us down to net income. And our net income, 665 minus 595, it's $70,000. And there we have a beautiful absorption income statement. Let's do our variable income statement, and it's just going to follow the format above. Sales rev, which is the same, 1.9 million, right? Doesn't matter the method here. The sales are the same, but then the next line down is totally different. Variable expenses. We got to say, what are our variable expenses? Well, 4, 2, and 3, it's our variable cost, 9. 4 plus 2 plus 3 is 9, plus our variable selling and admin. So our total variable expenses are 14, right? 4 plus 2 plus 3 plus 5. Our variable expenses are 14 per unit. And we sold, rather, $95,000. So 14 times 95,000, 1330. All right, sales minus variable expenses equals contribution margin. Our contribution margin, 19000 minus 1330. 570 minus our fixed expenses, and that's just these two, 400 and 120, right? The fixed overhead and the fixed selling in a minute, it's 520. And that CM minus fixed expenses is net income. Again, could be operating income or income before taxes, depending on the layout here, but since there's no taxes, it's our net income, 50,000. Now, I always ask my students, like, why are these net incomes different? And the answer is down to this. Our ending inventory under absorption costing is $20,000 higher. Our net income under absorption costing is $20,000 higher. These two things are related. Under absorption costing, we have $20,000 less in expenses. Why? Because we put what is expensed under variable costing into our ending inventory. So again, it's to make a balance sheet balance. We've said our ending inventory is $20,000 higher, and therefore our expenses are $20,000 lower, and our profits are $20,000 higher. Now, absorption is GAAP. Companies are required to do this for GAAP. Variable is something you would choose to do for management accounting. And why would you choose to do this? You know, we just went through all this. Why would I go to the effort? And the answer is so I can do things like break-even analysis and target profit analysis. A lot of analyses are only possible if you split your fixed and variable costs. So doesn't it make sense to do that here? And the answer is yes. That's why we do it in a typical intro management accounting class. Okay, we've made it to the end, though. We've solved parts A, B, and C. As always, I hope the videos are helpful, and if they are, I hope you'll help me with a thumb or a sub. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. I'm going to eat ice cream now. Goodbye. The next video in our series is right up here, and if you want a supercut of all of the videos in this series, that's the one down below.